Everyone, in this video, I want to talk about uh, service management world coming up in November of 2024, um, and actually give a little bit of background on myself. Um, in most of the demos that I've given to uh, you know prospective customers, you all who have been interested in running Cortex on your own Cherwell data, I have gotten a little bit into my background. Um, but I don't think I've done it on the channel here. So I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about that. And I will point out that the shirt I'm wearing today is actually uh, a Cherwell shirt because I worked at Cherwell from 2017 to 2020. I was a software engineer. I worked on the team internally, we called it SWAT. For a while, it was also Quick Wins. Quick Wins spun out into its own team, um, but I was on the SWAT team, uh, which worked really closely with support. So I got to know a lot of the folks over on the support side, a lot of the folks that you all interacted with on a regular basis when you called in. Um, I didn't work so much with like tier one support or tier two. It was mostly tier four or tier three, I guess, and support management because they also worked in kind of a third tier support, and there wasn't really a fourth tier. It was basically us. It was the SWAT team. So our responsibilities were uh, a combination of dealing with those high escalated support issues. In a lot of cases, it was the issues that nobody really knew how to solve. Sometimes they were really hard to track down. And based on what we were seeing as a result of dealing with those support issues, we also dealt with some uh, fairly nasty, foundational architectural level um, things. So some of the things that I worked on were the deep linking. Um, that was actually that was the kind of the user facing side of things. Um, but that was actually an effort to completely overhaul the the routing engine of the browser client and the portal. So basically, how the application turned the URLs into some sort of logic that resulted in what you saw on the screen. Um, that's actually how we accidentally broke the. There was a way you could run a one step from a URL from a deep link that was never documented, so we didn't know that was something that we should not break. Turns out lots of people were using it, even though it wasn't really something that had ever been intentionally built in. Um, and then we added a specific deep link for it that actually supported the way that one steps are supposed to be run, as opposed to just happy accident that there was a thing that worked. Um, so that was something that I worked on um, pretty early on in my time there, and something that I really enjoyed working on because it kept paying dividends. It allowed us to do a lot of things with the browser application. Another thing that I worked on was um, the health check rule. For a while, there was an issue in Cherwell where you could have two different defs with the same ID, and that caused all sorts of problems. Or in some cases, a def would have two different IDs stored in two different places in the database. That caused even worse problems. So I introduced the health check rule to identify those scenarios and fix them uh, as best we could. Because the challenge with that is um, was that the IDs were created through kind of a bad save, and after the fact, we couldn't figure out what the intention was when they were originally saved. So we just kind of had to roll with it and provide a way forward that wouldn't break the entire system. Um, and I believe as part of that, we introduced the way to uh, automatically heal the system from the health check. So you run a health check, and then if it detects issues, it provides a link where if you click the link, it automatically fixes those issues. So those two things are two pretty big things that I really enjoy doing at Cherwell, and I think are probably some of the more visible ones. They're the ones that come to mind. Um, Another thing that the SWAT team did was pretty much all of the patch releases. So we didn't necessarily do all of the coding that went into the fixes that went into the patch releases, um, but we compiled all of those changes into the patch releases, and then had those get shipped out. So 9.7, it was a group effort across all of engineering, and then 9.7.1 or whatever. It's been a while. I don't remember what versions had what patches. Um, was basically this little team. We were primarily responsible for that. And the reason for that was in a lot of cases it was in direct response to support tickets that were coming in, and in some cases we were dealing with them or helping the support teams deal with them. Um, I say all that to kind of set the segue into um, that really helped me grow as an engineer, and really understand the value of engineering in support of making customers happy, right? Obviously, there's things like product market fit and building a product that is in direct response to customer needs or market needs, right? Any entrepreneurship book or you know influencer on YouTube can tell you all about that sort of thing. But from the engineering side, being on that team really showed me uh, new ways that I hadn't dealt with before. Even though I'd just come from a small company, I was the tech guy at the company I was at before then, before Cherwell. So I did a whole lot of this, but I didn't really see the process, and I didn't really see the you know a disciplined approach to doing this. Now I recognize that Cherwell may not always be the perfect example of how to do insert thing here, but it was an example. It was something that Cherwell had been doing this for 10, 15 years before I got there. So there was an established process. There were known ways of handling certain situations, and ways to evaluate whether we were performing or not. So it was a really good experience for me. I really enjoyed that. Um, and then in 2020, Cherwell and I parted ways. That's a story for another day. Uh, and I became a Cherwell partner. Um, but I didn't want to step on the toes of everybody else who was already established in the partnership community, in part because I was a little more technical, and my experience with building content in Cherwell was years behind all of them. There are lots of great partners out there. You've probably worked with one or several of them. Um, you've certainly met many of them. They all do great work. They're great resources. Uh, and what I wanted to do was kind of fill the gap between the code heavy stuff that I had been doing at Cherwell and all of the implementation and supporting activities that the partners did, um, directly for customers, uh, in the sense of building developer tools and that sort of thing. Um, Ultimately, I kind of ran out of time because I had other day jobs that took a lot of my time, and I really wanted to think about what the future of the industry, the future of the community held, and uh, not just building dev tools for Cherwell, and especially as the future of Cherwell kind of got called into question after the Avanti acquisition, um, and of course we saw where that led with the end of life announcement at the end of last year. So with that came a renewed interest for me in all of this stuff. So obviously in the Cherwell market, with Cortex, all of the stuff that I've been showing on the channel for the last 9, 10, 11 months. How long has it been? I don't know. Last several months, all of the stuff with Cortex. Um, that's not going away. That's something I'm really excited to do because it gets me back into all of the stuff that I really enjoyed. Um, it's there's a lot of fun challenges in Cherwell land, and I really enjoy working with all of you and all the interesting challenges that come with all of your custom modifications because everyone's database is different. Every single one of you are using different features and functionality of Cherwell that needs to be supported by Cortex. So that's really enjoyable. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. Um, so keep an eye out for more of that. But at the same time, I do want to continue to think into the future, right? What are the needs in the industry? And some of you, I've already had conversations about your specific needs above and beyond Cherwell, above and beyond the tools that you're replacing Cherwell with, and some of the custom development that you're having to do to kind of bridge the gap between what you had with Cherwell and what you get with the new tools that you're moving to. Because obviously there's nothing exactly like Cherwell, but there are certainly great tools out there that get you enough of what you need to move forward with day-to-day operations. Um, and uh, I want to continue to have those conversations with you. So that'll be a theme on the channel. I think I probably said that in a couple of different videos. Um, some of the code that I wrote, back in 2020 and 2021, um, will start to appear again on the channel. Basically, I'm dusting it off, kind of modernizing it, bringing it into 2024 and 2025. Um, I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I'll have something to show. There'll be a beta of something exciting that you can check out. And then in 2025, it'll actually be a real thing um, that is production worthy. That doesn't mean there won't necessarily be ways to pay for it before then and ways to start integrating it into your organization. Um, but as far as a platform goes, 2025 is probably where it's at. And it still kind of remains to be seen whether that'll be a continuation and an expansion or evolution of Cortex specifically, or if it'll be its own thing based on some of the code that I've written, again, several years ago. Um, Either way, I'm really excited about it. I want to empower you all to do amazing things within your organizations, working with whatever ITSM platform you end up with, whether it's Avanti Neurons, whether it's ServiceNow or Halo ITSM or Easy Vista or BMC Footprints or BMC Remedy or anything else, any of the other ITSM platforms that are out there. Um, I want to help you do amazing things. Which brings us to Service Management World. Okay, so Service Management World is in November. I forget the exact dates, but it's the week before Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure. Um, I'll be there um, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think that's when the conference is. It starts Tuesday at 4:30 ish, and goes through Wednesday at no, goes through Thursday at sometime in the afternoon or evening. Um, I'll be there those 3 days. In the coming weeks, months, obviously that's just shy of 3 months out. So in the next couple of weeks, I will have a link in uh, the video descriptions of subsequent weeks. I'll also retroactively add it to this description, but when this video comes out, it's not there yet. Um, a link to schedule time with me. If you're interested in meeting me in person, you'll be able to schedule a 15-minute block of time, and we'll meet somewhere. I'll figure that out sometime before our scheduled meeting time. It might be as late as when I actually get um, to the conference venue and kind of get the lay of the land. Um, or, I know there's an interactive map that I've been poking around. I might be able to find a place before I get there. But we'll meet in person, talk. I can show you what I've been working on. I can answer any questions you have. And if you want to see a demo of Cortex at that point in time, we can certainly make that happen. Again, that's 3 months out. So if you're thinking about working with Cortex today, don't wait. let's schedule a demo today. There are links in the description to do that. Those are 30 minutes. The demo is usually 10 or 15 minutes, and then, you know, plenty of time for questions. But yeah, I'll be at Service Management World. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see all the vendors there. I'm excited to see all the attendees there. I should be specific. I'm not exhibiting at Service Management World. I'm just attending. Um, right now, I'm not quite ready to have a booth there. Maybe next year. Maybe even next year Support World. I'm not quite sure about that. Service Management World is definitely more of where I fit into. Um, but we'll see if Support World kind of fits the bill as well. And who knows? Maybe I'll be there. I think that's probably what, April or May, somewhere in that time frame. I think that's when it was this year. Um, but definitely Service Management World in November. I'll be in Orlando. I hope to see you there. And if you want to meet up with me, uh, stay tuned for that link to schedule time with me. And you can always send me email as well. If you want to grab a meal, grab a drink, um, let me know. Let's schedule it. Uh, hope to see you. Hope to see you there. And if you're not going to be there, let me know that you're not going to be there and why you're not going to be there. I'm curious to see. Obviously, I want to make sure that I'm spending time doing the things that are worthwhile to me and worthwhile to you. And if Service Management World isn't it, that's valuable information. If you aren't going to be at Service Management World or don't want to be at Service Management World or haven't found it valuable, let me know because I'm curious about that. I'm curious about ways that I can do things that are valuable to you, aside from not doing additional 20-minute videos where it's just me talking. So speaking of which, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking through it till the end. If you made it all the way to the end, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're, what else do you do on YouTube? You like, you comment, you subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to talk to me, links in the description. Lots of links in the description to cool things to look at, demos of Cortex, that sort of thing. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.